The super chat says, "Do you think Life After Death would have sold more than All Eyes on Me had Biggie hadn't died right before the release?" You know what? That's an interesting question. I think that Life After Death probably wouldn't have sold as much as it did had Biggie lived through it, but I think it would have sold a lot because he would have been able to do a lot more videos. There were a lot of potential singles on there that Biggie would have been able to be a part of. So I still think it probably, I don't know. Let's just be real. History doesn't show that that would have been the reality because Pac had always outsold Biggie to that point. And All Eyes on Me sold a lot of units, and Pac was super huge at that point. Let me get to some of the other super chats before we get to this next topic. And I think we did want to talk about the game anyway because Drillmatic's coming out next week. But yeah, Drillmatic, I think if we're honest about it, like Coop said, the game does have a better catalog than Kendrick. I think on an impact level, it's hard to really quantify if he should be on that Mount Rushmore over Kendrick because even with the break, Kendrick's impact on the West Coast is real heavy, and I think it'll be a very tough argument to make. You will almost have to do it by eras. You will almost have to do it where it's like, okay, early 90s, late 80s, we got Cube. 90s, Snoop. Early 2000s, Game. 2000s, 10s, Kendrick. I think that's the only way you could possibly justify having Game on the Mount Rushmore of the West Coast. You got to do it by decades. You know what I mean? It would have to be Cube 80s, Snoop 90s, Game early 2000s, and Kendrick in the 2010s. If you're doing it like that.
Yeah, right. See, what people have to understand, I mean, first of all, I feel like, Ice Cube and Tupac are kind of immovable. Is that fair?
Yeah, I didn't even say Pac, man. I'm tripping. So
yeah, I mean, Cube
but so
and Pac
I guess
are,
in the 90s, you're going to have to
actually, Snoop's immovable too. So three of the four slots are taken. So if like you're doing it Mount Rushmore, I don't know if that's fair because three of those slots are just filled. Ice Cube, Pac, and Snoop aren't moving. Ain't no moving.
So I guess, it's just Kendrick and Game battling it out at that point if we're not going to count Dre as an artist. And I think that, man, it's hard to really argue Game over Kendrick based on the output that Kendrick's put out there and the minimal help he's had compared to Game.
That's where the separation, because Game actually has a better catalog, but it's only because he got here first, has done more work, but has been more collaborative heavy.
Yeah.
His solo songs are not as good as Game.
Yeah.
I mean, Kendrick's solo songs are better than Game's solo songs.
Yeah, and the fact that, I'm going to be perfectly honest, and like I said, I love Game's music. I think Game's on the tear. I can't wait for Drillmatic. But even the samples that Game uses, they're like high-profile samples, high-profile producers, and I got to give Kendrick credit. He doesn't really do that often. I mean, Soundwave is Soundwave, but they try some new things sonically. You're not going to hear a classic sample with Kendrick that already is, working. You know what I mean?
Kendrick makes concentrated efforts to do things, and that's fine as long as it's working.
Yeah, as long as it's working. But when we're nitpicking, comparing, and, having to pick one over the other, we kind of got to delve into those things. Katie with the super chat says, yes, the Game is above Kendrick. People won't admit it because the Game's the black sheep and his reputation and Kendrick's God Messiah complex.
I'm gonna say less.
KD also says a lot of Kendrick's impact is typical Interscope smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. We got to remember, after M, it's Kendrick as the flagship artist over there.
Ooh. So hold on. Is he getting a lot of attention and placement that Game never got because of the early Interscope fallout? Possibly.
Oh, definitely.
Can I ask you something? I mean, because I know you probably feel this way, but it's like, okay, I know that Kendrick's best four albums are better than Game's best four albums, right? Like Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Damn.
Well, if you put them in order, yes.
No, not in order, just period. Like Kendrick's best four albums are better than Game's best four albums, wouldn't you say?
Well, you're saying Kendrick's best four albums are better than even like the documentary and Doctor's Advocate? Like
I'm saying as a whole, like hold on, what are Game's best four albums to you?
The Game's best four albums?
Yes.
All right, the documentary, Doctor's Advocate.
Yes.
I think Jesus Peace.
Yes.
And see that fourth one. Where am I gonna go with that fourth one? He's got a lot of quality projects, man. I could go 1992. I could legit go Born to Rap. Honestly, I thought Born to Rap was really slept on.
You do, and you still feel that. I'm going to go listen to Born to Rap again because you've maintained that thesis.
Yeah, Born to Rap's tight. I'm gonna go with 1992.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would probably go with LAX.
Okay. Another good choice.
And that's without bringing up the documentary 2.0 or 2.5, which I enjoyed as well. But I say this to say is that, well, this is why I'm telling you I want to see Kendrick do more work because, well, your top 4 is better than Game's top 4, but not by a whole lot. And Game doesn't usually even get top 20 all-time MC consideration. Listen to what I'm about to say. What is Kendrick shit gonna sound like on what album is Game on? Like 10 or 11 or 12? You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, how is your shit gonna hold? Because you and I know this. Game has made about 7 or 8 dope ass albums.
He has.
So even though your best 4 is better than his best 4, let's not act like the documentary is something to sneeze at. Doctor's Advocate is nothing to sneeze at. Jesus Peace, nothing to sneeze at. Now, the collaborative heavy thing is real, but that's what I'm saying is it's like, that's why I'm talking about Kendrick and the recording material and going to work. At least the nigga Game go to work and we got 8 dope-ass projects out of him. Are we getting 8 dope projects out of you? Like, for your career, are we going to get 8 dope projects?
You know what? His catalog is so dope that I'm even forgetting stuff, man. I'm going the number 4 spot. I'm gonna go the documentary 2.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm trying to think. Do I want to go 2 or 2.5? I'm thinking 2.
Can I tell you how funny I am?
Man.
Can I tell you how funny I am? The intro to the documentary 2.5, the Magnus Carlsen with Anderson .Paak. I changed my whole rating of that album because they couldn't get the Stevie Wonder Rocket Love sample cleared because the record sounds totally different with the Rocket Love sample. But that record, had they got the Rocket Love sample cleared, I would have put that on this top 20 list. That's how dope he is. Dollar in a Dream made my top 20 list.
Dollar in a Dream.
Dollar in a Dream's a monster with Ab-Soul. That's a monster of a record.
I love that whole album, man.
That's the best thing on 2.0 to me.
Now, are we going to count that as one album or 2 albums?
You know how I feel about these long-ass double albums. I'll be counting them as 2. Because all
the
rappers
it was
do
put
is
out
to
2
make more
weeks
money
apart.
and to get more sales and to get more numbers, and I get it. Go get your money. Go get your paper. That's 2 albums.
You know what, man? And 100 was a very strong single, too.
100's on my list.
I love 100. Mad Max with the super chat says,
Pac is Gang Bang anyway.
I love that record too. Mad Max says Pac is not a West Coast MC. He can't be claiming no coast because he spent equal time on both coasts.
He didn't spend equal.
B More is an East Coast. Pac was raised there, and Pac don't even sound like a West Coast rapper.
He doesn't. His voice is definitely East Coast.
I mean,
voice is definitely East Coast.
Jay Shore with the super chat says Pac was with Digital Underground. That's the Bay Area. So it sounds like everybody is pulling Pac away from LA.
More California time than East Coast time. East Coast time was like minimal. The Bay.
So when did he move to Cali?
Man.
Like, was he out of high school?
Damn, I'm feeling old. No, because I feel like the School of the Arts, after the School of the Arts with Jada, like something about going out the cat. I forget exactly, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, because I've never really heard that story, and I'm asking just because I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. Like, when did he move out to Cali, and how did that take place? Mad Max with the super chat says Katie is right. K-Dot is more media hype. Look at To Pimp a Butterfly. That's media hype. All the music critics said that was a classic. Just brainwashed us. Damn and Good Kid, Mad City are the only joints people play. The rest are I. I will give you guys this. I loved To Pimp a Butterfly when I first heard it, but let's be real. People weren't super high on that album like that. They are retroactively talking about the greatness of To Pimp a Butterfly. Even when Damn came out, Kendrick himself downplayed that album on Big Boy's show. when he was ranking his albums. They weren't talking about To Pimp a Butterfly like it was the masterpiece. That's new talk. And that's just real. I mean, but I was talking that shit, but I was...
Actually, you and I were both talking about it in masterful and masterpiece terms, and we're in the minority.
Yeah, nobody was talking that when we was talking that back then. When that album came out, like I say this all the time. I was listening to it I was like, this might be the best hip-hop album I've heard since Supreme Clientele. No one else seemed to agree. But now they want to retroactively go back out there and talk about how great To Pimp a Butterfly is. I was wrong in my assertion as far as the Supreme Clientele, but that's just how highly I thought of the album when it came out. LP with the Super Chat says, how lasting is Game's music? He's not talking about much like K-Dot is. It's really not close as far as lasting power and indeed in dead is that deed of impact? I guess impact of catalog. I could feel that.
Nobody has those problems with Biggie or Jay.
What? Subject matter content?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially Big. I mean, Jay, you could at least say Jay has a wealth of catalog
evolved into some things. I'm just thinking Prime Jay wasn't heavy on subject matter and was considered to be an all-time top 10-ish MC. You know what I'm saying?
I think people just don't like the game, man.
Thank you. Just say that, because it's no, Biggie and Jay get to be misogynistic and lightweight in content as fuck, and it's the best shit I ever heard. And it's yeah, me too. Long as you understand.
People seem to be very critical of Game. And anything he does,
he catches a lot of flack he should not catch. You see how all these Kendrick stands are jumping in here. How could you even? It's no, motherfucker. One of them records, one of them doesn't. All right, how about that? How about that?
Mad Max says, I love Documentary 2.0 has Game's best song to me on that massive level. Documentary 2.5 has the best rapping. I got them all over every K-Dot project, not named Good Kid, Mad City.
Oh, see, and here's what people don't understand, and here's what I mean why I fuck with Game too. Well, I lived out on the West. I seen live the who, what, where, when, and why he's making music for. Oh, trust me. They was playing the Documentary 2.0 and the Documentary 2.5 in the hoods in Cali more than they was playing Damn and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. You feel me?
Well, I was going to ask our people on the West Coast.
Or anything except for Good Kid, Mad City that he makes. Game actually is making shit for the set, for the West Coast.
Well, I want to ask the people in the room that are from the West Coast, are they playing Kendrick's music like that? Katie with the super chat.
Every time we do that, they we don't be bumping Kendrick out here. It's I know.
Jay Shore to let us know. Jay Shore to let us know what they playing. Katie says, and the thousands of mixtape cuts, loose leads, leaks, freestyles, remixes, etc. Kendrick doesn't have too much work outside of his album and features, and he doesn't have a lot of features either, guys.
Feature game is super light.
I think that's one of the things when we talk about being an all-time great in the conversation that Kendrick was in, and if we talk top 10 conversations, his feature game is the lightest, and not even just based on amount of work, just the gravity of work.
The quality.
Yeah.
So look at this. Ice Cube doesn't do a lot of guest appearances either. But look at the shit that he's on. I don't know, Natural Born Killers off the Murder Was the Case soundtrack. Or Hand of the Dead Body with Scarface on the Diary.
Real Nigga
Roll Call. Right.
Here we come, boy. Ryan Gillum with the super chat says, I saw a tweet that said Kendrick doesn't collaborate with rappers who can outshine him. I've heard, was it the Rich the Kid song, New Freezer? There was a story going around that,
I like New Freezer.
I like New Freezer too. There was a story going around that Kendrick was on that song, but it was supposed to be Kendrick and A$AP Ferg. And allegedly, Kendrick said, or Kendrick's people said, if he's on the record, I can't be on the record, so it's just got to be me on it.
Who?
Huh?
Who said that?
Kendrick's people. I don't know. Allegedly. Y'all can Google the story. Y'all can Google the story. He wanted to be, and I don't think it was anything against Ferg per se. I think that he just wanted his feature to be by itself. And so it made me think, if this story is true, how many times has this been done?
He might not have liked the fact that he was actually like on that record called Control and got all that fanfare, but us real heads was like, yeah, but Jay Electronica has a better verse while you were talking that shit. Maybe he just didn't want to
clear the playing field.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nas the Ghost says,
Jay Elect had that better verse on Control.
Nas the Ghost says, I listen to Game more than I do K-Dot. K-Dot has better content, but I honestly feel the Game makes better music. Game is on that Mount Rushmore. Game's albums are just better.
Because they are. Well, he actually has albums.
Yeah, as far as catalog,
we can't compare them because it's like we can go 7, 8 albums in the Game's catalog. We can't go into Kendrick's catalog like that. We got 4 dope albums.
Darren Harris says, Game has more replay value than Kendrick, though. Sounds like y'all on the same page. Maybe we need to put a poll up. And I'm sure when we put the polls up, all the Kendrick fans are going to come out the woodwork. Jay Short says, Kendrick's songs they play are humble and swimming pools.
That sounds like top 40 shit.
Hey, it is what it is.